I decided to make this review because I couldn't find any review written or video on internet, and still I bought this monitor for me. I risked a little bit, and I think I'm good after that risk. So the reason is why I'm sharing this with you, because maybe someone have same needs for monitor like me, what I was searching when I looking for a new monitor. So it has to be 34 ultra wide, 3440 pixels by 440 pixels. Initially I was looked to that extreme ultra wide, or what is the real name for that, when you have two 16:9 monitors put together. But the thing is, with that monitors, you just not receiving they're not good values, because you're paying much more compared to this monitor, and you're not receiving that much more resolution, that much more real estate. Or my second option was 32-inch 4K or Ultra HD monitor, and mostly there were monitors like this, 34 inches with 3440 resolution, but most of them was VA panel, or at least if you sort by cheapest, most of them were VA panel. Next, I want at least 120 Hz. I'm not doing much gaming on this, but I want at least that. I want IPS panel, because for a short period of time I had a VA monitor, and VA can be good, but you know, I decided to go for IPS. I also need USB-C that can deliver power and also data and also displays. So for example, connecting MacBook laptops or some similar laptops. And also I want speakers. I'm not expecting much from any speakers from any monitor, but still I want speakers. And my needs are primarily video editing, photo editing, some office work, and also occasional sim racing on PC, and so that monitor can be like a backup of the backup of the backup for console gaming. You already know this is not good option for console gaming, but still it can be decent backup. Oftentimes you are doing some job that this monitor is enough for you, and on this side you can put, for example, NBA playoff or something like that, while you're doing boring stuff on the left side. And I previously done that with tablets, a second monitor, laptops with metal holders, but I decided to clean up a little bit my desk, and this is a really good aspect ratio for that, like one side for serious thing and other side for a little bit relaxation during work. This monitor definitely has a really stupid name, because it starts with VA. It was relatively cheap. It was 350 euros. That's probably something like $350. Because there is almost no information about this laptop on the internet, I was suspicious this maybe is actually VA panel, but then I found ViewSonic has a lot of IPS monitors with VA at the beginning, which is really stupid, and they should change that. So let's start with the box and packages. Everything is really good inside. A lot of cables. There is power cable, power adapter, HDMI, DisplayPort cable, and USB-C cable, which is a nice touch. And there's also a power part of the power brick for British plug and for the European plug. As you can see, this monitor has external power supply. I'm not a fan of that. I often step on use monitors without power supply. Sometimes it's not easy to find those power supplies. Sometimes you can have the similar in the house. But the positive side of that can be that you are removing part of the warming from the monitor. I know it sounds stupid, warming of the monitor, but still every device is like a little bit warm, especially during summer. So that part of the warming is about a meter or two away from monitor, which is good, especially because this monitor has powerful USB-C power supply. I don't have exact number, I believe it's 65 watts. Anything above 40 is enough, trust me, for Steam Deck, for MacBook Air, for MacBook Pro. Don't chase the monitors with 95 watts or more. It's not necessary. Even if your, for example, MacBook Pro came with 61 power supply, that doesn't mean that MacBook will pull that 61 watts HDR. I'm not interested in HDR if the monitor is not OLED or has some way of local dimming. This is not that monitor, so for me this monitor doesn't have HDR, but it has. But you just should look at this monitor and any other TV or monitor that doesn't have OLED or local dimming, that is not HDR, and you will just make everything worse. So the stand of the monitor is very good. A lot of parts are metal, and I was really happy because the height is really good, and I believe this is not, yeah, there is a little bit room more to be height to be even more. Obviously I'm using this IKEA stand with a drawer, but again, I'm kind of tall guy and I want my monitor to be really tall. Someone is saying that your eyes should be here, but I want my eyes on first third. So if I'm like sitting normally, like with my shoulders in the straight position, that's that height, and I like this height because it's keeping my spine more straight up. It can be moved like this and like this, but no pivot because it will be stupid. When you're doing adjustments on buttons, it will be a little bit shaky, which is really expected for this size of monitor. But if your table is stable, then monitor will be stable. I forget to mention it is curved monitor. Doesn't mean anything for me. So this is my first curved monitor to be used every day, and I don't see any real benefits or pros or cons or non-benefits of using curved monitor. It is what it is. It is like nice to see it, to try it, but it's not life-changing. I don't see why my next monitor should be or shouldn't be curved. So it is nice. Probably if I pick that ultra wide, even wider monitor, I want it to be curved for sim racing, but this is okay, either curved or not curved. So I was worried that this panel is not IPS, but it is definitely IPS. So why I wanted IPS? Yes, it is about response time and a little bit about angles. Look, I'm not testing response time in any games on UFO test or anything. I'm not care about this. It's either it feels good for me or doesn't feel good for me, and I will give you stupidest example, but I have some VA monitor for a week or two between two monitors, and there is like problem not when you use dark mode on system and go to Twitter and then you have that bright letters on the dark background. It was fine, but if you go to notification, for example, those letters are less white, and then when you scroll that quickly, it was really blurry. Everything is blurry on VA panel, and believe it or not, that is the main reason why I wanted IPS, because that blurring, it was irritating to me. So not gaming or anything, because mostly I will do racing where a little bit blur is maybe okay, maybe even realistic, but for office work, how that sounds really strange, but yes, for office work, that IPS is definitely better choice. Monitor has really nice picture out of the box. I did a little bit of calibration. Hi, Branko here from editing. I want you to go and read pinned comment from me where I describe the process of adjusting picture of this monitor. I delayed this review for 10 days, and you can read the reason for that. And also you should know this monitor can have really good picture, but you have to be careful if you are not sure what are you doing. So read the pinned comment. Obviously for office and 95% of my job, the panel is excellent. For PC gaming, I don't see any reason why this panel is not going to be good. I don't know how fast response time you need, but I believe this display will give response time great for 99% of the people. 120 Hz really enough. So whoever needs more, obviously, probably it's closed this video like minutes ago. So curved display, this size, this resolution for sim racing, for example, looks really nice. Just make the field of view realistic, because I believe default field of view will be wrong when the game figure out it receives this resolution. So for PC gaming, it's really good choice. It's not full gaming monitor, but it is hybrid, and in that way it's doing really good job. And for the console gaming, it's not that good. It cannot receive 1440p resolution. Yes, there is 1440p resolution in the middle, but the way this monitor communicates with other devices, it cannot understand itself with PS5. So the max resolution is Full HD with 120 Hz, and you can fix aspect ratio to have 16:9 in the middle. And for example, you can play Gran Turismo 7 or Formula 1 20 whatever at 220 Hz, and it's look decent, but this is too much money, and you will receive like fourth of the resolution that the PS5 can deliver. So it's not good option for last gen consoles. Probably for the previous gen is enough, but still, or maybe Nintendo Switch first generation, but also you can look into this monitor as a console monitor, only like third or fourth solution in your house. So the monitor has horrible OSD, like every monitor I ever look in my life. I don't know why is the problem to make these buttons good and the menu is good. In defense for this monitor, there is a lot of options. There are all needed options, so just stupid buttons and stupid OSD as I expected. It has picture-in-picture and picture-by-picture. Picture-in-picture when you can put picture from one input somewhere on the screen and use a picture from other input for the whole screen. And picture-by-picture is when this monitor is split in the middle. Unfortunately, there is no options that one input can be 16:9. For example, I can input a console here in 16:9, and for the rest, I use some, I don't know, some Office or other thing. So that is the problem with picture-by-picture, but as far as I know, there is all options for picture by picture, like many other monitors. So the disappointment is that hub in this monitor, and it has hub which can be connected with USB-C to this kind of device, or USB-A to regular PC. So this USB hub is 2.0 speed, and it's not accessible. So USBs are here. You have two USBs here. So it can be used only for something permanent in USB, like a receiver for mouse or keyboard. I don't see any other. It's not even a problem for like data transfer when I have time like 35-40 megabytes per second that USB 2 can achieve. It's fine for me, even when I got from some job, you know, I put to copy and go to a shower or something like that. But the biggest problem is USBs are not accessible, so think about that. This monitor has speakers, and as you expect, like the same with OSD, the speakers are, let's be nice, below average. So they're maybe average or even above average when we are talking about speakers in monitor, but that is like really bad overall quality compared to any other speakers. So it is nice that they are here. It can be good for some console gaming, useful, but also we said that this is not a great option for console gaming. So I'm happy that I have these speakers. I was hoping for better results from speakers, but you know, if you heard sometimes in your life speakers for monitor, they're all pretty much the same, the bad and the same. A couple more points. This monitor has, let's say, problem with HDMIs on Mac Mini, or Mac Mini has the problem with this monitor using HDMI. So I cannot blame this monitor 100%, but I can blame Mac Mini for at least 90% because everything works great on PC. But still, I tried this Mac Mini on one AUC monitor. It works really normally with HDMI. On some, let's say, Terra monitor, it works. It needs probably a minute to wake up, and this Mac Mini can even get TV from sleep without any settings on Mac, because there is no CEC settings for that. So I was really disappointed when I figured it out. When you click keyboard to wake up Mac Mini, it's not going to wake up this monitor if this monitor is connected by HDMI. And reading on internet, the Mac is to blame for that. Apple is to blame for that bug. But as you can see, the same Mac Mini worked normally or some other monitor. What that means? So I have to click one button on the keyboard to wake up the Mac, and then any button here to wake up the monitor, and everything works after that. Other solution is to use USB-C, which works perfectly with Macs, but I want to have USB-C free at this point, so I'm still using HDMI with that small bug. People on internet say it is Apple to blame, so I believe them. And also, if you ask me about light leak on this monitor, like when you put completely black background, yes, I can make you picture that this monitor has really big light leak here and a little bit on other corners. But I was discovering that while my PS5 went to HDR automatically, and then you have like a picture in the middle and then black on the side, and I saw that leak, and obviously because it's going to HDR, probably it went to 100% of the brightness. You don't need more than 1/4 or 1/3 of the brightness in everyday work, unless your monitor is looking directly into the window and you cannot do anything without that window. You don't have any shades or things like that. So let's say I can prove that this monitor has some amount of leak, but in the real world you are not able to see anything. So what is my verdict? Surprisingly, I was received what I expected. I believe it is decent value, and I'm happy with this purchase because it was a little bit risky, because absolutely no review. I bought this just based on specs. So what is the pros of this monitor? Great picture, a lot of connectors. So we're talking about USB-C for full use of that connector, DisplayPort, 2 HDMIs, 3.5 millimeters of for the headphones, 2 USB-A for hub, 1 USB, that other connector that goes to PC, and power connector. Stand is great because it will be good for really tall people, even without using this. Very good response time, 120 Hz, which is for hybrid monitor, like combine a little bit more office and a little bit less gaming. It's really great. And this size and this resolution of this monitor is appropriate for pretty much anybody on this world. Obviously, it will be nice to be much more dense monitor and even a little bit bigger, but then price will be just much more. So bad sides of this monitor are USB 2.0, that's a little bit disappointing. Speakers, I was expecting that, and that HDMI with Mac situation, I believe Apple can fix that, but the people are saying it is the same situation from M1, this is M4. I don't believe I can upgrade firmware of this monitor, I didn't check that. So that's it. If you are in the same situation like I am, like doing mostly visual job with pictures, videos, some other graphical things, a little bit office, web, and occasional gaming on PC, and you just want the device to be third or fourth backup for console gaming, this is really good value, and I can really recommend it, this monitor, because it promises a lot and it delivers in pretty much every main category except some small ones.